This is Georgia. She is having a normal day at the beach. Little does she know that in about 5 minutes during her swim, she is going to get attacked by a shark.
It's a shark meshing program.
Okay, Laura. The shark meshing program was introduced in 1937 in Sydney, which was aimed to protect swimmers and surfers against shark attacks, and is allocated in the popular sections of New South Wales coast. Many methods have been investigated to reduce these shark fatalities, including shark exclusion devices, surveillance schemes, as well as shark control devices. The shark meshing program is a cheap and affordable way to minimize shark peril, but is it effective?
How effective are the nets?
According to a report carried out by the New South Wales Government in 2009, the annual number of shark attacks in New South Wales has not decreased since the shark meshing program has been introduced in 1937. The nets are not only ineffective, but have by-caught endangered species, including the dugong, whale and stingrays, resulting in death. As a consequence, 13 critically endangered grey nurse sharks have been killed as a result of these nets during 2008.
And how necessary are the nets?
Studies have shown that 40% of sharks happen to get caught on the wrong side of the net. As a preventative measure, exclusion devices should be implicated to minimize bycatch and reduce shark attacks. Evidence also suggests that nets do not fit their purpose, as they do not have full coverage on the beach, thus allowing sharks to swim over and around the nets. They are unnecessary, as statistics show that they are not needed, causing more harm than good.
Dr. D.D. Reid has been researching the impact that shark nets have had on meshing areas based on its effectiveness and sustainability.
Sharks, with records of 17 species being caught in New South Wales shark meshing programs. There are 8 species that are most commonly caught: whaler, andrew, and hammerhead sharks being the most caught, and the figures at 84 to 86%. The ratio of the survival rate at the hammerhead sharks is at 1.3%, while other species of sharks, such as Port Jacksons, have a survival rate of 92.1%. As we can see, some species are benefiting over others. As for protected species, it is hard to control what is being caught in these nets.
Some of these species are considered protected and endangered by the DPI. Affected species include white sharks, grey nurse sharks, as well as dolphins, turtles, finfish, whales, seals, and penguins. So is this sustainable?
On an environmental level, this is quite a risk to local species and their habitats. There is already a high rate of unsustainable fish correlating to a fluctuation in low survival rates in certain species, such as sea turtles.
As you can see from the graph, interactions and fatalities have dramatically decreased since the adoption of shark control measures and the introduction of shark nets. During summer, a count of 6 fatalities have dropped to a big 0. However, in a report by the DPI in 2009, there is a showing number of attacks pre- and post-program. There are areas in which this has no real effect, whereas attacks in Sydney have actually increased. Since this, amendments have been made where a joint management agreement has been set between the Minister of Primary Industries and the Director General of the Department of Industry and Investment. This plan commenced in 2009 September, where nets were only added to areas with a large shark account, 51 beaches in total. These nets are to be regularly monitored under attentive maintenance and to release any protected fauna, protected fish, or threatened species. Since then, no amendments have been made for the meshing program due to the results of the performance in 2012 to 2013 meshing season. Did you know? Perth's introduction to the Eco Shark Barrier makes use of a smartphone app to advise communities of where sharks have been spotted. A Shark Spotters program has been set up in South Africa, which uses a flag and alarm system that keeps watch of sharks in Cape Town. Similarly, the concept of tagging and towing sharks 8 kilometers away from popular beaches has been introduced in Brazil. Although alternatives have been discovered and tested, without a greater community and government support, such as alternatives cannot be as successful. In saying this, there should be stronger support for those more sustainable alternatives, respectively.